Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, part of the furniture with me, Daniel. It's season 13, episode 5, and today we play league leaders Manchester City in the final game in January. Before we go through transfer deadline day, I'm sure batting off offers for many of our key players. We have made one or two big signings in January already, and I think we've probably done most of our business in terms of players coming in, but there's a couple of players we wouldn't mind seeing leave, particularly if we get the sort of offers we're hoping for. Since the last episode we've been doing rather well. You can see we're up in 7th place in the moment, ahead of the likes of Southampton and Tottenham, who have been right up there for many years in this series so far, so I'm really pleased with how things are going. We have brought in one top class player to the starting lineup, but that isn't going to make today's test any easier, as we face the league leaders City, who are absolutely flying at the top of the table. You can see from the team stats we've got the third highest goal scoring record in the league, a brilliant achievement this season, considering the front three haven't really changed, and we've only brought in Omar to our midfield or attack. And then in terms of goals conceded, we're right near the bottom, as we've had a few problems at the back, particularly with Maxwell making howlers. As a result of that in particular, we've made some decisions in the transfer window, so let's go and have a look at what we've done before we go and see our results since the last episode. So if we go to the transfer centre, there's so many players we're getting offers for. The likes of Stevie Maxwell, Cisse and Beja, Daniel Kozel we're getting some big offers for as well, and then Darren Palmer, the young striker. Craig Lonergan-Owens attracting bids, but we can't quite get the money we want. If we do, they're the sort of players we'll let go, as they're backup or rotational options. The two that have agreed deals are ones that are going to America in the summer. Marcus Davis, a young right back, he's done plenty for us in the past. 25 league appearances he's made. He'll be off when his loan finishes in the summer. And Steve McNulty, we got on a free a few years ago, he's not quite made it either, so he's going to be going off to Columbus Crew. However, I'm sure the ones you want to see are what's been done already, so let's go and have a look at the transfer history screen. You can see there's two big signings on the left side of the page, but let's go and have a look at the bottom right to see those that have left the club this month. Just the two players who are backup squad members this season, but of course they have been instrumental in our success at the club, so we do need to go and give them a bit of attention. First is Jimmy Lindstrom, who's gone to Schalke, £6.25 million, I think slightly less than we paid for him. I'm pretty sure we paid about 7.5. We're right, we did 7.75 million, but he did provide us with plenty of good service. That first half a year when he came in, we were halfway through our first Premier League season, really struggling towards the relegation zone. He came and replaced Nico Williams, 5 goals in 17 games, 3 assists as well. I remember he famously got a last minute equaliser at home to Arsenal in the league, and he was absolutely fantastic that year. Did a decent job the next season as well, 3 goals in 24 appearances as we look to move a bit more attacking. Now we're obviously playing with a right winger rather than a midfielder, so he doesn't really fit into the tactical shape, and he hasn't improved as much as we'd like. So he does go off to Germany, where he started quite well, and we wish him nothing but success in the future. And the second one we've let go is Lee Milne, just because we've signed another goalkeeper, who we'll obviously go and meet in a moment. He was always a backup option for us and only ever made 1 league appearance, but he did play plenty of cup games, including the early stages of that FA Cup run last year. He's also played an FA Cup game for us this season, so we wish him all the best in the future, but with his contract ending at the end of the year, we had to let him go and make the couple of £100,000. So that's the two that have left the club and moved on to pastures new, but we've brought in 2 replacements for exactly the same positions in fact. First is Alvaro Gonzalez. Our director of football actually made the bid for him, but he'd been scouted by the club before and he looked like a very good player. Those of you who are following back in the Championship may recognise this name from Crystal Palace for £9 million. A really decent young right winger, 22 years of age and under 21 international for Spain. 3-star ability, 3.5 potential. He's on less of a wage than Jimmy Lindstrom and it's a really good deal for us for just over the same amount of money. He's got room to improve in the future. He's naturally a winger, and with the injuries we've had to Diogo Sousa, the youngster, who we signed from Basel in the summer, we'd quite like to get him on the road on loan and be able to give Gonzalez some game time. He's already scored 1 league goal in his 2 sub appearances so far. It was a crucial one as well, which we'll look at in a minute, so I'm really pleased with how he started at the club. Got a really good balance of attributes in all the key positions, and I think he's going to be a superstar. The second one is Cicinho Badger. He's a goalkeeper from Tottenham, £35 million, our second biggest ever transfer, but just look at him, a Dutch international, 4-star ability, 4-star potential, a driven personality, really determined, and his attributes are almost perfect. He is now our highest paid player at the club, just taking over from fellow Dutchman Bakkenes, but this guy's already at his peak, and he's absolutely brilliant. I'm really looking forward to him being here. He's played one league game for us already, and you'll be seeing him in action for the first time today. So I'm delighted with that signing. I think that could be one of the differences between mid-table and Europe. If we can do that in 2 or 3 more positions next year, I think we're going to be ready to compete. So I'm really pleased to get a goalkeeper of that calibre in, and I thank Tottenham for making him unhappy. He was their backup keeper, to put it into perspective, so their first choice must be pretty good. And the other quick thing I want to talk about before we get into the game is the youngster Omar, the wonder kid we signed in the summer. We mentioned he'd had a poor start, but he has come to life now, and he's one of the best performers in training every single week. And just look at the way he's developing now. At 19 years of age, he's going to be something very special. But we've got to get this game in today, and a bit of news from transfer deadline day, so let's crack on with the match. We're at home to the league leaders. It's going to be a struggle, but let's hope we can get a result somehow. We had an FA Cup game at the weekend, which ended a succession of games over the busy winter period. Let's go and have a look at those results very quickly. You were with me for that heavy 3-0 defeat against Arsenal, where we didn't really compete too well, but we've only lost the 1 game since, as we've had a slightly easier run. We won 3-1 at home to Fulham in the league, Lee Rutherford with a brace including a penalty, and Omar scoring a goal in that one too. A late consolation from Fulham, but it didn't really stop us enjoying the day. We lost 3-1 at home to Liverpool. They really played well in that game. Dimitri Lapin got a goal for us, but the result never really looked in doubt. A 0-0 draw at home on Boxing Day to Burnley, just what all the fans wanted to come out and see, but we did get a point on the board, and that continues to be important as we fight to get as high up the league as possible. 2 days later we won away to Brighton, Hernan Air with a 90th minute winner, after Lee Rutherford got the goal in the first half, having fallen behind early on, and then a 4-2 win against Bournemouth a couple of days later. This was my favourite game of the season so far. 2-0 down with a quarter of the game to go. We made 3 changes. Ray Probert came on the youngster on the right wing, and the game just turned on its head. Rutherford, Omar, Bakkenes and Lapin, all with a goal apiece, and a couple of very good goals in that one as well. We really enjoyed the victory and the manner of it. Then into January, we had a comfortable 2-0 win at home in the FA Cup. Omar and Sousa in the first half. I'm pretty sure that's where Omar scored his brilliant goal. A 2-0 win was probably quite generous on Wickham. A 3-3 draw followed at home to Watford. Another one of these crazy games. We were 1-0 and 2-1 down before going 3-2 up with a minute to go. Rob Holding then got an equaliser as we sacrificed the 3 points. But a 2-0 win followed away at West Brom. That was our last Premier League game. Alvaro Gonzalez came off the bench with 15 minutes to go, and he scored the goal that was crucial in the end before Michael Duncan added a second in stoppage time. It was a disappointing 0-0 draw last time out in the FA Cup 4th round against Palace, but we rotated our side heavily for that, and we'll have to do the same in the replay. We do want to go on a run. We've got Watford away in the next round if we get through, so it is going to be a little bit tricky this year, but you never know, we may reach the final again. So it's Manchester City today. We have got a game on deadline day as well, but we're not going to worry about that too much, as we just want to show you the highlights from the day. So let's go and look at our lineup for this match as we play the league leaders at home. If we start at the back, we've got the new goalkeeper Badger. Richard Quirk and Lydio are the fullbacks, only because Talasise's a bit unhappy. He wants to move on, and that may happen on deadline day, but he's not going to play while his morale's like that. We've got Bedger and Leclerc in the middle, Recchio dropping back out of the side. Vladimir's in for Bakkenes, who got a slight knock in the holding role. Lapin and Omar in the middle. They're now our first choice too, with Hayes sitting on the bench, rotating where need be. Aaron Kozzel the wingers, with Rutherford up front. Hopefully they'll be able to continue to add goals between them. We've got plenty of game changers on the bench now, something we've not always had in the past. So let's get into the game and see if we can shock Man City. It's a 4-4-2 for City, a very attacking formation. Williams got a hat-trick against us earlier in the year, so we do have to watch out for him. They've dropped Mane to a more defensive midfield position, something he's not always done in the past. Venturini on the right's a superstar. De Ligt at centre-half's world-class. They're just littered with talent, and it's going to be difficult for us to get anything out of this game. Let's tell the lads to go and prove a point. It's a 4-4-2, so we will try and go more attacking for now, just to see if we can take advantage of the extra man in midfield. Ray pro but will be staying. I don't know why we're getting such a long tunnel interview. Who comes in there and talks about contracts? A little bit strange, but it is late January. Kozul's got the ball on the left from the kickoff, tries to get it into the box. Rutherford's on the end and it's come down for Omar. He shoots, is a good save. What a start that would have been for Torquay. Omar forcing a save from the keeper. An in-swinging delivery to come from Kozul, and to the back post Bedger's there, but unfortunately he's handled the ball. He looked like he'd been fouled, but nothing was given by the ref. Venturini with a free kick which is blocked by the wall, and now he can counter with Vladimir. He's got Rutherford up front and two running on the right, but he's been challenged and it's out for a throw. 5 minutes gone, it's a City free kick, and it's their first attacking highlight of the match. De Ligt heads it over the bar, but he was unmarked. A little bit of concern for us early on. Vladimir heads the ball away from a throw-in. Falls for Mane 25 yards out. He shoots from the edge of the box. Badger makes the save. There's the difference between him and Maxwell. A corner to be taken by City. An outswinger from Alonso, and it's into the back post. De Ligt heads it over. Unfortunately for us, we survive for a goal kick. It's another corner for City. We're seeing so many highlights here. Crashes off the crossbar, and eventually we get a free kick. City have already had 6 shots, so we are going to drop to a balanced mentality. 15 minutes gone. It remains goalless at Torquay. It's a corner for City. We got to the last minute of stoppage time in the first half. No real highlights in the last half an hour. We just saw a free kick hit the wall, and aside from that, it's been very quiet. I've just noticed City have got a very strong bench. Ottenorff, who's been in the first team for the last couple of years, and they've also got Duday, who we tried to sign. We'll hold that thought as Rutherford's in one-on-one. What a finish to the half. Hernan puts him in with a brilliant through ball, and Rutherford slots it past the keeper. We lead at a break, and we certainly don't deserve that, but we'll take it as we've got something to hold on to now. City dominated the half according to the shots, but we've hit as many on the target, and we got one in the back of the net, which is the important thing. Let's go and talk to the lads and tell them we're pleased with their performance. We're going to ask them to guard against complacency, and everyone aside from Lidio's happy with that. So with a positive reaction, let's get back into the second half. We're just going to calmly encourage Lidio first. He's now motivated too. Let's see if he responds in the second period. His personality has gone up to balance now. We've mentioned before that he had a really low determination. He was unambitious when he joined, and it might have been the only thing to hold him back, as Rutherford shoots from the edge, but it's blocked the free kick. The wall does its job there, and now it's a corner. But Lidio's up to balance. A few of the others are really benefiting from mentoring as well. So I think long term it is going to be positive for the club, and we may have found our left back long term. Leclerc's got it in the middle as he's headed away from the corner. He switches to Kozul, but he's been forced backwards as the ball was behind him. Vladimir's got it inside to Omar. Can he do something special again? Might fancy his chances, but it's blocked, and City can counter now. They're coming over halfway to Julian and over the top to Williams. The man who's been a superstar in the past. His cross is blocked and it forces Badger to his right, and he tips it behind for a corner kick. An in-swinger to be taken by Williams. There's 2 in the middle, but Badger comes to claim the corner and he manages to hold it, something Maxwell failed to do so often. Vladimir gets it from the short rollout, and now we can play out from the back with Badger. He gets it inside to Omar, left to Kozul, and now he can take on the fullback, or will he cut inside? He does cut inside. He's got 2 or 3 in there. Omar's one of them. Back to Vladimir in the middle. Now Dimitri Lapin into Rutherford. Turns and shoots, but it's blocked. Omar out to Lidio. He's got some space. Shoots from just inside the box, but he blazes it over the bar. 5 gone in the second half, and that long highlight led to nothing. Williams delivers, Sacco wins the header, and from the next corner, City force a save. Badger does well to hold it. He's got 2 fullbacks he can roll it out to, goes to Leclerc, the centre half instead, and he lays it into Vladimir. Now Omar over the top. Rutherford's in again. It's the same ball as last time. Brilliant save by the keeper this time, and De Ligt hacks it away for a corner. Really poor over the top from City. It's just a long straight ball beating them. Hernan in the first half, and then the second time it was Dimitri Lapin, but unfortunately we didn't take advantage. 10 minutes gone in the second half, and Lidio to take the long throw. It's given away to Alonso though. He can attack over halfway. It's a 3-on-2 for Manchester City, but we have got men back pretty quickly there. Albano on the right wing gets it inside to Mane. Mane's trying to find a man on the left. He's found his winger and he's going to deliver, but he goes back to Herkes, the fullback. Into Mane again. The captain in central midfield keeping possession. He finds Venturini and now Williams. Into Julian and Alonso. Brilliant finish into the bottom corner. What a wonderful goal from City. And they're deservedly on level terms with that one. A wonderful goal. We can't begrudge them that. Just over an hour gone and City are really starting to press now. We've got a warning to close Alonso down after that goal, but they've got the ball back on the edge of the box and there's more than one threat in their team. Williams on the left back to De Ligt, goes for the shot from distance, but it's over the bar. He needed more luck according to the commentary. I think he just needed to be a bit less greedy. It's Rutherford to Air on the right hand side. He goes for a shot straight at the keeper, and there's been loads of highlights in this game, but not many clear cut chances. Quirk with a throw, a quarter of the game to go, and once this highlight's finished, we will go and make a couple of subs. It's a free kick for Lidio. He finds Omar. Plenty of space to Lappin. He's got a man over on the right, but we go inside to Omar again. He finds Lappin. It's blocked to Quirk. And now we've got a penalty on the right. Rutherford should be the taker. The only better ones in the team are Leclerc and Omar. But I don't know if we want to risk the youngsters. Rutherford's been pretty good with them this season. We're going to leave him to take it. And fingers crossed he puts it in the back of the net. Come on, Lee Rutherford. Show us what you've got. Into the bottom corner. Sends the keeper the wrong way. And with 20 to go, we retake the lead. Now we are going to make some changes. Lidio's been the weak link in the team so far, so Lonergan Irwin's going to come on for him. Obviously the former City player Irwin, hopefully he'll do himself justice today. Dimitri Lappin's not had the best game, James Hayes can come on for him. And the other one I'd probably look at is Kozzel, but I think we'll just save a sub for another 5 minutes. After that we will make the final change. I might give you a sneak peek at Gonzalez as well. It's a throw on the right for Manchester City, Venturini heads it in, Richard Quirk's on the left for some reason, but he does get the ball away, and now Omar finds Rutherford on the left wing. Can we get men in support? It's crossed and headed away. This missed by the defender though, and Omar to Vladimir. Hearn and Air on the edge, but it's blocked and cleared away. Leclerc's lost out in the middle, and now City have got a 2-on-1. Williams can cross it, there's no one in there, but it's a good block by the defender. Fantastic work at the back. Quirk gets it away to Hayes. He hacks it clear to Rutherford, flicks it on, but there's no one there. 15 to go. Can we hold on for the win? Just over 10 minutes left. We have made one slight tactical change now. The two fullbacks have gone from attacking duties to defensive. We don't want them getting caught out of the shape, as Rutherford nicks it off the centre half. Could have been a penalty again. It has been given. Rutherford's got a chance at a hat-trick. The leg took his legs away. It looked a good challenge, but we don't care as Rutherford puts it in the corner. Thank goodness there isn't VAR in this year's game. Next season that one wouldn't have been a penalty, but we're delighted with 10 minutes to go to now have a 2-goal lead. Are we going to beat the leaders at home? And emphatically as well. What a performance that would be, as Mane shoots desperately from 30 yards. It goes over the bar. We'll make our final change. Hearn and Air's composed. He's got an assist, but his rating's not better than Kozzel, so I am going to give you a sneak peek at Gonzalez, the new signing from January. Both players you'll get to see in action today. Badger's already got a brilliant rating. Williams with an outswinging delivery. Badger claims it again. Brilliant goalkeeping by the new number 1. He's been absolutely fantastic. Rolls it out to Vladimir. Can we build from the back again? Leclerc back to the keeper. Long ball down the right to Gonzalez. He showed composure to bring it down for Rutherford. He's been fouled, but it's fallen for Hayes, and it's a brilliant save by the City keeper. Venturini hacks it away, and now we look the more likely to score a fourth. 1.5 minutes to go. What a home performance this has been. Just 10 seconds of stoppage time remaining. It is going to be a famous victory at home for Torquay. This has been one of our best performances of the series. I know that Man City had more shots in the first half, but in terms of on target and clear-cut chances, we were absolutely sensational in that one. A wonderful result. Lee Rutherford with a hat-trick, including 2 penalties, and he's really starting to become a top Premier League player. Omar ran the midfield again. Badger, the new keeper, was sensational, and our homegrown player back on loan, Richard Quirk, was a star performer at right back. So let's go and see what the media have said about the game and have a very quick roundup of transfer deadline day. There's the confirmation then. A 3-1 win takes us to that magic 40-point mark. 14 games left in the season this time. A brilliant achievement by the boys, and we're now on to 40 points and competing with the top 6. That's all we could have asked for at this stage. City lose top spot as a result of the defeat. Lee Rutherford's obviously going to go and get the praise. He was superb in front of goal, took his penalties well as well. We'll deal with the press conference off camera, and we're now 6 games unbeaten in the league. Everything's gone well on the pitch, and we'll be back in a moment for some off the pitch news after we've played Middlesbrough on deadline day to round up the day of action. We'll see you in a moment for that. Okay, we're back after the Middlesbrough game and the transfer deadline day. It's been a very frustrating day all round. First we had disappointment against Middlesbrough. We were held to a 0-0 draw despite dominating the game. Lee Rutherford, after his hat-trick on camera, just didn't have his shooting boots on for that one. The transfer window was a disappointment as well. We didn't expect to have anyone coming into the club as we'd done our big bits of business early on, but we didn't have anyone going out either. Nothing really happened on deadline day. Last year you saw we got 20, 30, 40 offers, and this time we only had two. One for Dimitri Lapin, who can still go because it's to China, but obviously we're not going to be selling him. And then we had one for Lucas Bedger as well, but it wasn't the best of offers. We had one for Kozzel the day before, but that wasn't too effective either. And once we said we wanted £30 million, they weren't happy to proceed, only offering 20. We're not going to get a better winger for that, so we're not going to let him go as a result. It does mean we've got a bit of a bigger squad than we'd intended. The likes of Palacios, Rami Hassan in particular, Diogo Souza and Darren Palmer were all available to go out on loan, and we were desperately trying to find them clubs. They're not on big wages, so I'm not sure what the hold up is, as they've got plenty of ability and could help a lot of sides at a nearby level. So I'm a little bit upset about that, but it doesn't matter too much at the end of the day. We are 6th in the Premier League temporarily, mainly because we drew that game against Middlesbrough while nobody else had played yet this midweek. So it is a pretty decent episode overall. Lee Rutherford, the top scorer in a very low scoring Premier League season. He's got 14 and the next best is on 11 at the end of January. So let's go and have a look at the schedule, see when we might next be back. Obviously it could depend on what happens in the FA Cup, as we may get a couple of other good ones in there, but I'm planning to come back for this Tottenham or Everton game around the start of March, purely because that's when our youth intake's due, and it's always our favourite part of the year in this series. We want to develop as many homegrown players as possible. Obviously we've got Quirk back on loan now, the likes of Probert and Palmer are doing well. We've still got Fibber Asima out on loan, who may well make it as a Premier League player, so I'm hoping we'll be able to get another gem or two that can lead us to glory in the future at Torquay. But if you did enjoy this episode and that fantastic performance against Manchester City, please do put a thumbs up on the video. I know we probably got a bit lucky with the second penalty, but we're not going to complain overall. Let me know what you think of our two new signings. I really think the goalkeeper badge is going to take us to the next level. You saw how commanding he was just in that game, and long may that continue. I think he can be our keeper all the way to the top. Let me know if you disagree, or if there's anyone you're disappointed to see leave, or if you think our new signings are going to flop. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my two long-term stories, this one with Torquay United and then our Journeyman series, The Head Coach. We moved to a new club at the start of the current season in that one, so do go and check out our new job if you haven't seen it yet. There's also 3 episodes a week from Cricket 19, the official game of the Ashes. We're doing an Ashes test playthrough at the moment before starting our long-term career in the next week or two, so if you are a fan of other sports games, I hope you're enjoying that content as well. And then we continue our weekly career mode series from Snooker 19 every Friday at 4:30. But a massive thanks for watching this one and your continued support with the series. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time for another important episode as we meet our latest youth intake and hope to unearth another gem.